Hello and welcome back. Now hopefully this will be quite a short wee video. It's just to get you thinking about things and how you might interact with your world a little differently than you may already do. Now we have clearly this understanding of sentience, consciousness. You might look at a cat or a dog and think it's a soul and it has some sort of consciousness to it, and you might treat it in a certain way. That animals respond to the tone of your voice and the words you're using in the same way as children might do, and that they're impressionable and can be upset or calmed. You might view, say, plants. A lot of us becoming a little bit more awake to the fact that you can interact with your plants and get them to produce, very noticeable results in how they improve, their health and their growth and how much food they produce. That's an absolute, as far as I'm concerned, it's a given now, that if you talk lovingly to plants, it will keep them healthy, and you will almost develop a relationship with your plants. There was some experiments done, I think it was reported by Lynn McTaggart, the author of The Field. She has an amazing body of work on the science of how this world functions. It's just fascinating things. And one of the stuff, I don't think she did the experiments, but she reported on the experiments where there was this chap who was, it was connected with the kinesiology, aura detection, aura photography, Kirlian photography, and he was working on using the same equipment he used for that, and he also was involved in the lie detector tests, where probes were put at certain parts of your body, and when you got your body state changes, it can, it raises your heartbeat, or you sweat more, or it heats up physically. And these were all signs where, you were agitated, which you can't control, or most people can't control, when they're telling the truth or lying, it shows through. And he got to playing about with some plants, and he was attaching these little electrodes and things onto the leaves of plants. And then he was doing experiments where he was maybe coming to water the plant, and there would be a spike in the activity of the plant. I don't know how they would detect activity in the plant, but the electrodes would shoot up, and it showed that the plant had some sort of awareness of what was happening around it. Plants have a sort of consciousness, then he started doing some harsher things to plants, like burning, or saying he was striking a match near them and sort of threatening to burn them, and they would go all excited again, or sort of, obviously they would respond to that. There would be a flatline level of whatever it was, the sap or whatever. I don't know what he was measuring in them. I suppose it was some sort of electricity. There would be a sort of base level when they were just sitting there on the windowsill or in the laboratory, and then when he would do different things to them, the pulsing, the response would change. So he basically proved that plants are conscious. They have a consciousness to them, and they know, when they're in danger. They also know when their plants around about them are in danger. They have an awareness of their environment, and so if somebody's cutting the grass or something, the flowers might get alarmed. It sounds a bit strange to think about. This is actual science. This is science. it shows a sentience, it shows an awareness, a consciousness to these things. Now, you actually can take it a step further, I suppose there'd be consciousness in all kinds of insects and birds and butterflies and things like that. But you can take it further. There's a consciousness in the soil, with the amoebas and, all the little, plankton of the sea, or the living elements that are in water and things like that. There's a consciousness that is much richer in our world than we're aware of. It's not just, you can't have big broad brush strokes and sort of think none of this is alive, because actually, like cotton was a living plant before it got made into cotton, clothing and things, and bricks, they were made from stone, the rocks and the stones, and actually if you read some of the Dolores Cannon Convoluted Universe books, she regresses people to previous lives and back to much earlier times, and in some of her books she's regressed people back to the formation of the planet, and she has had conversations with people who chose to be clouds and steam and water. They were part of the ocean's consciousness. The ocean has a consciousness. The rivers have consciousness. The clouds have consciousness. The sun obviously has consciousness. The earth has consciousness. Rocks, people that had lived lifetimes as a rock, they were sort of inhabiting that form on the planet, fulfilling some task, that was necessary in the creation of the earth. It was needed to have wind or whatever. So I want you to expand your way of thinking of the world and start relating to the things in your life as if they may have some form of consciousness. You will get, probably a lot of people, they love their cars and they talk to their cars and they name their cars, they interact with them and they take good care of them, maintain them, and the cars work much better than people who just drive a car into the ground until it's, it's broken beyond repair, and they don't put any love or energy to that so-called inanimate thing. I believe that we can have a much higher quality of life if we start recognising the capacity. Let's take something which appears to be inanimate. Let's take crystals or semi-precious gemstones. People that work with these, they know that they hold a capacity for, what would appear to be miraculous things. They can channel healing, they can amplify, pranic energy, they can remove energy, they can discharge it. They are, they have the capacity in them to be much more than a piece of stone or rock or crystal. The same goes for like water. I'm going to show you this water here. I don't know if you'll see it right. This is the water I treat myself to each week. It's glass bottled from a mountain spring in Wales, and I know that this water is full of life. It's not just the components of water, H2O. This water is not just H2O, it's got all these trace minerals, and it's probably got little bits of something that's alive in there that's going into your system in a like microbiome or something in a very healthy way, and I believe it's health giving water. There's no It's not bottled in plastic. It's come out from the earth. It's come through all these stones. It carries a very high vibration. And I think that you can even amplify that. I think if you added drops of that water to normal household mineral water, it would increase the vibration of the ordinary tap water that had been filtered, you know, in your filter jug. Just drops. It's almost like a homeopathic effect, because of the power of the consciousness that's there. You know, when you start to acknowledge consciousness in your world around about you, then you can start to get better results in everything that you do. You can put intention into things. You know, people do simple stuff like write love on the bottle that they drink water from or whatever, and the water becomes slightly charged with those positive, you know, intentions. And we all know it's gone back to this placebo effect and things, but I'm taking it further than that. I'm not saying that it's just your mind believing that the water has been altered and is better for you, therefore your body reacting to the belief of your mind. I am saying that there's a consciousness to the water, and when you acknowledge it and when you work with it, then the water itself will play an active role in addition to the placebo effect of what you believe. And you can extend this right out into all sorts of things, you know, like I say, cars, computers, just your whole world in general, even any of the inanimate things around about you, like I say, crystals, incense. You're giving them a role to play, and you're putting your words and your thoughts into how they can benefit and help you, and the consciousness of that item is working with you to achieve the goals that you want. They want to be acknowledged. They want to work with us. They want to help us. I believe a lot of the things in our world, especially in the natural world, you know, have souls. Even they can have group souls, certainly, you know. And when I'm out and about interacting with the world, I do try and acknowledge it. I say to have little aloe vera plants. Sometimes I take a little leaf, you know, if somebody's got a scratch or an irritation or something, and I'll say to the plant, withdraw your energy, and I sort of indicate to the plant where I'm going to cut, and then I will cut the part I said, and I'll thank the plant, you know, and say thank you, please help me heal this wound. I really appreciate it. And you know, I give them their place, you know. The water, I give it its place. It's down here on the earth, and I don't know if it sounds crazy to people or not, but I believe it to be true. I've seen results of it. Other people have had similar experiences, and there's a lot more going on here than we are, you know, initially aware of. There's a lot more consciousness and soul purposes around about us. Even putting paint on a canvas, you know, that paint has it's got its chosen purpose. When you're doing different things, when you're making tea, herbal tea or something like that, you can be speaking to the herbs and saying, you know, I'd really like you to help me with my digestion, or, you know, this is a weight loss thing or whatever, and be dialoguing with the universe round about you to activate things, rather than be passively just, you know, everything's operating at this dormant level. The world is not dormant. If you start to open your eyes, you will experience it in a different way. So I know it does sound slightly crazy, but try it. Why don't you try it? Why don't you try it interacting with the trees and the plants and things. We've talked about that before, and you will feel an exchange of energy from them. Why don't you try interacting with the water that you drink, blessing it and acknowledging it and thanking it for, you know, all the effects it's going to have in your body. This water doesn't just cease to be when you drink it and become you. That water's in you. That part of the earth that came in the water is now part of you. And when you I don't know, when you breathe out, you have parts of that water breathe out, and they become part of the air and the clouds, and you know, the whole world is constantly shifting, so that these tiny little fragments and particles are exchanging. You stick your fingers in the dirt when you're gardening, and through the tiny pores of your skin will go microbiome from the soil, and that microbiome will go, I don't know if it goes into your bloodstream or what it is, but it makes its way into your system and into your digestive tract and will make you healthier. People who are working in the soil like that, there's a transference into the body. Same with breathing in certain things. You're breathing stuff into your system and it's changing the makeup of your physical body. And you have to be aware of the things you're touching. Are they natural things that you have round about you? Is it wood or cotton or linen, or is it plastic? And you know, what you're breathing in, is it essential oils diffused about, or is it some sort of synthetic concoction of paraffin wax and, you know, chemical fragrance effect? You know, you have to start seeing how the world about you is interacting with you, with your energy field, with your physical body, and what you can do to, you know, forge a path with your consciousness to improve your quality of life in that world. I really find that it's enhanced how I live my life when I start acknowledging the soul energy, the spirit energy, the consciousness of the living world in particular all round about me. But I don't rule out the table or the phone or the computer or the car or the couch. You know, I don't rule out them having a lower level of consciousness, just a slight awareness, you know, because things like your table was made from a tree. Did that tree's consciousness disappear? I don't know. You know, the plants that grow the cotton or whatever, they get made into the clothes. Is there no trace of that consciousness? I mean, it's made from, you know, the same, that material has just been transferred into a different form. So I think if you start being aware, plus everything in the world, you know, it picks up these microscopic living sentient type creatures, amoebas or whatever, that they're on. Everything's alive. Everything has some sort of microscopic life that will, you know, life finds a way. It's there, it will show up. And so, you know, as you walk about barefoot, you're absorbing things you can't see. And it's nice if you can be sending out love, be sending out gratitude, you know, be sending out positive vibes to the things you interact with every day. Just give it a go. Start where you're comfortable. Start with a plant, you know, or the water, or something that, you know, that you could stretch your imagination. Obviously a fish or a bird, or, you know, something. You can interact with these things in a deeper level, to a deeper, more profound way than you currently are. And when you do, it will raise your vibration, and it will open up your eyes and your energy field to more magical experiences in this world, and faster and better progress with the things that you set out to do. It's just some more food for thought for you. I hope it gets you thinking about your life, and you can, again, I would really like people to be as active as possible with some of the things I'm saying, and be trying it out yourself and seeing, if it resonates with you, if you feel you connect with what I'm saying at all, if you get anything from that. Okay. Thanks for putting up with me, and we'll talk again soon. God bless.